Hi, I'm Corey from Alba Racing, and today we're going to talk a little bit about putting an axle on a Banshee. This is one of our Pro Elite axles, chrome plated, heat treated steel, comes with a lifetime warranty against bending or breaking. First, let's talk about which tools you're going to need. We're going to need a 3/8 drive ratchet, an extension, a pair of dikes or a pair of pliers, a number 5 Allen wrench. The sockets we're going to need a 12, a 14, a 17, a 22, and a 27. And then we're going to need a little tool like this. Not everybody has one, so sometimes you can use, just find something that's round like this and it's going to fit in this hole right here, just like this. This is your new locking nut that you're going to get with the axle. Pretty trick looking little piece, all billet aluminum. You're going to need a hammer. And then these are the parts that come with the new axle, and we'll talk about those more as we go along. You're also going to need a big wrench to get your axle nuts off. A lot of people don't have a big crescent wrench like this. If you need to, you can use a pipe wrench. That'll work. Just be careful you don't mark everything up. Okay, now let's take the stock axle out. We've already removed most everything so you don't have to watch while we just take forever to do it. First thing you're going to do is take your hubs off. Unbolt them, use your pliers to pull the cotter pin out, take them off. Next thing you're going to do is use that big wrench to get these two nuts off. One's a jam nut and one's a regular nut. It goes on first and then your jam nut's in there, so loosen them both separately and pull those both off. Okay, now we're going to take the axle out. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your 17 deep socket, slip it over here, and then hit the axle with a hammer. Just like that. Pull it out. If you want to, I would pull that, break this off. Okay, now we're going to put the new axle on. Your thread end of it will go in first. You want to make sure that all your splines in your start sliding your axle in. You may have to use a little persuasion with a hammer, you may not. But there we got it on. That was pretty easy. Okay, now we're going to put the new axle nut on. You can see it here. Screw it on until as tight as you can get it with your hands. Then we're going to come over here and put a piece of rod or something that's really strong, fairly small. Run it through here, run it through the hole. You can see there's some holes down here in your swing arm. And that'll just keep everything from turning. It'll lock it in place so you can tighten your axle. Now we're going to come over and use the tool here, put it in one of the holes, and we're going to tighten this up as tight as we can get it. Okay, now we're going to take the rod out so we can turn everything, and we're going to tighten the set screws up here. This will keep this from coming loose. So we're going to tighten those up real good. There's two of them, and there's one coming up from underneath. Okay, now we're going to put our hubs on. The axle's adjustable, so you're going to get 2 narrow spacers and 2 wider spacers, so you can adjust the axle to the width you want it. If you want it as wide as possible, go ahead and put all the spacers to the inside, slide your hub on, and that's as wide as it gets. Now if you want it to be narrower, take a spacer off, slide your hub on there, put a spacer to the outside. That's how that'll work. So on this case, we want it as wide as possible, so we're going to put them all on the inside. Going to take our nut. Now, you're going to tighten this nut up with your 27 as tight as you can get it. And then you're going to take and you're going to put one of the cotter pins right in the end here when you line it up with the hole. The hub nuts have a tendency to come loose a little bit on these nuts, so check them. Make sure your lock nut here is tight. Very important. Check those every 2, 3, 4 rides. Make sure everything's in good shape. That's it. Go out and enjoy and have a lot of fun.